Everybody, this is Catherine at Fairway Counseling. I wanted to talk a little bit about communication. Okay, when you have a disagreement, there's a few different levels of that discussion that you're trying to have. There's the actual topic, there's the emotion involved with it, and there's also the type of relationship that you're in. Okay, that's going to put a level of urgency. The higher the relationship, the more urgency when you're having a disagreement. Okay. The story that I use a lot with clients to kind of bring the point in is a couple that I worked with, and it was the toothpaste, the cap on the toothpaste, and he didn't care about putting it back on, and she asked for him to put it back on. And so every day they were dealing with this same thing. He would brush his teeth, just go on about his business. Now, I mean, ultimately it's really no big deal. But it depends on who you are if it's no big deal. Okay? He felt like she was trying to control him by trying to make him do something that he didn't want to do. Okay? She felt like he was dismissive of her because she's the one that had to come behind him and take care of it. Okay? What he didn't realize was that they had a 3-year-old, and having the hands up on the counter like this would hit the tube of toothpaste and it would spread toothpaste all over. So not only is it wasting it, but it's this big mess for her to clean up. So that's why she's feeling like he's being dismissive of what she has to do. And, well, she's just a maid for him, kind of thing. Well, neither one of them are talking about that. They're talking about the cap on the toothpaste. Well, I don't care. It's not a big deal. Well, yes, if it means something, just go ahead and put it back on. Oh, well, so a cap on a toothpaste is going to show my love. Well, in effect, yes, it does. Because of the emotion, not because of the topic. And that's what I mean. People have disagreements on topics, and it's not the topic you want to talk about. It's why are you hurt that whatever happened? And you want to try to focus on, this is somebody I love. I don't want to hurt them. So if they're being hurt by something I'm doing, then maybe we need to talk about it so that either they can understand or I can understand. So I don't purposely keep hurting the person I say I love. Because if you keep hurting them, it just seems like you don't care. And then that gets to be kind of a torturous relationship. And yes, it starts with the cap on a toothpaste, and it goes to putting the toilet seat down, and then it goes to socks on the floor, to laundry in the washer, to dinner on the table, to dishes in the sink, to all these different things. Because when you have a huge buildup, that's what gets you. Nobody generally wakes up one day and it's like, I didn't agree with them about a toothpaste cap, so I'm done here. I need to go on to the next person. That's not what people do. If people are in a relationship, they're invested emotionally. So they're going to overlook the tube of toothpaste and they're going to go on to the next one. But the next one ends up being, you have the same feeling that you did from the tube of toothpaste and you've never talked about it. Say they don't do dishes that are in the sink. Okay? Now you feel dismissive in the bathroom and you feel dismissive in the kitchen. And then you have socks on the floor in the living room. So now you feel dismissive all over the house. And if you say anything, he just keeps feeling like you're trying to control him. Now each side has a right to feel what they feel. And nobody can say either side is right or wrong. Okay? All you can do is, as a relationship, as a couple, you make what the rules are in your relationship. Now, if that means that you don't leave clothes anywhere but the bedroom hamper, and then you guys have agreed on that, that's exactly what you need to do. Okay? If you've agreed that one person's going to do dishes and one person's going to do laundry, then that's what you need to do. Okay? None of it's right or wrong. It's just how you guys as a couple define it. Define your relationship. But if you keep yelling and screaming about the cap on a toothpaste or the sock in the floor, but you're not having a discussion about why you feel hurt that they would do that. And it's not just that they wouldn't help you pick up. Okay, why does them not helping you pick up hurt your feelings? Well, it's fair and they need to do the same. Okay, so you feel like it's fair. So what are you feeling? Well, taken advantage of, dismissed, not cared about, so all these different emotions come from what you're reacting. And that's where you have to get your emotions, the conversation of the emotions, not just whatever it is you're talking about. Okay? So talk to them about why they feel a certain way. Talk to them about what it was that you may have done. And you want to be able to validate the fact they have a right to have those feelings, because they do. It's not a law that there's only one way to see anything. Okay? And like I said, you guys determine the rules of your relationship. So you validate that, yes, you can understand why it would seem like what they feel. And you're sorry for doing something that makes them feel bad. Okay? You're sorry for misrepresenting your intentions, which resulted in them feeling bad. Okay? Then you try to describe what your actual intentions are. Okay? Like on the tube of toothpaste. If he actually says, well, I feel like you're only doing this because it feels like you're trying to control me, well, then that also sparks the conversation of, well, it's not trying to control, it's just trying to prevent the 3-year-old from causing a mess. Okay? So that's just a really small example, but it's an example that somebody can get, really angry like that because they've had the same conversation like 1,000 times already, and it's still the same thing because you're not talking about the emotion. Now, if it was, say, a roommate or an aunt that you're not close with, or even a sibling that you live in 2 different places, you can have differences, and it's really not a big deal because they go to their place, you stay at your place. But when you live in the same house and your relationship is a big part of who you are, it's a lot harder when you feel like the person that you love is intending something bad. And the majority of the time we're not intending anything bad, but we're perceived wrong. You can't say, okay, well, I know you meant it this way, and not hear what they have to say. If they say, no, they didn't mean it that way, and they apologize for misrepresenting, not communicating it clearly, however you want to word it, you have to believe what they're telling you. Because what's the point of having a conversation if you're already not going to believe them? And if you're in a relationship where you're not going to believe them, why are you in that relationship? Okay? So that's all stuff that can be talked about, but it's something that you don't want to get to that point. You just want to handle the emotion when it happens so you don't have that negative emotion going on forever. Okay? So go out there, hug and kiss on your significant other, because it's really the best parts of the relationship. Tell them thank you for not making me go through this world alone, and for loving me just because, in spite of who I am, and enjoy the relationship. Okay? And when you're just talking, those are the times that you talk about these kind of things so that You're not in the middle of an argument. You're going to feel negative. You're going to address negatively. You're going to be very aggressive, defensive. It's not a way to have a conversation. So during the times when there's not anything going on, that's when you have those kind of conversations, so that you can help each other learn about each other, okay? Not accuse each other. So go and do your hugging and your kissing and your dancing and all the things that you love to do with your significant other, okay? So everybody, be you, be safe, and be happy, okay? Bye, guys.